and we actually exchanged some words at the table, but I'm not going to get into that. But
what were the words? What were the words? What happened? What words?
Should I get into that? Should I get? All right.
I think you should get into that.
You should... He's like looking at me trying to get a read, right? I lose over half my bankroll in like a month and a half, and I'm like, oh no, maybe I'm not God's gift to poker. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. And then I build it back little by little, and then I go on my first trip to Vegas. And my first trip to Vegas was lit, fam. It was like next level, man. I ran the biggest bluff of my life. It was like an insane hand. I can tell you the hand. It was pretty gnarly, bro.
What's the hand? You have to tell us the hand.
All right. So I get to Bellagio. It's 20, 40, 40. And I sit down there, and I got the... I just bring my entire... whatever I brought to Vegas. I brought like 40K to Vegas, which is like probably a third of my bankroll at that point. So I sit down at the table with like 40 G's, and everyone's like looking at me like, bro, you like way more than cover everyone. What is the point of having like 40K in front of you? I'm like, I'm a gangster. I'm here to play. And yeah, so like I like way covered everyone until a younger Asian gentleman sits down in the 5 seat, and he has like 60K. And I'm like, oh, we're in play, okay. And I like nudge the guy next to me. I'm like, yo, bro, would you give me like a free roll? Like if I get all in with him, just like give me like $100. He's like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm like, come on, man, just do like $20. He's like, fine. If you get all in with that dude, I'll give you $20. I'm like, all right.
I've given free rolls so if people would bluff off their whole stack when they're that deep. No one ever does. Really? It's very rare. Like,
oh, boy, do I have the story for you? Do I have the story for you, bro?
Well, finally, you found the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy. Okay. So, I got this free roll going, extra juice in the pot. And then it folds to me on the button. I look at the queen 10 of spades. I'm like, all right, pretty solid. I raise to $120. Small blind calls, big blind calls, which means 400 in the pot. So, we go to a flop of... In fact, I have this on my phone. I'm going to make sure I'm, like, getting the hand exactly right, because I have it saved on my phone.
I'm really curious how you managed to get all the money in.
Bro, it's gnarly, bro. This is September 2021. So the flop was King of Clubs, Jack of Diamonds, 6 of Spades. And checks to me, I bet $100 into $400. Small blind folds, big blind calls, 600 in the pot. He check raises the flop to $460. So pretty small check raise, right?
Yeah.
I bet $100 and $400. He raises to $460. I decided to make the call. Go to a turn of the 8 of spades. So now I have the flush draw as well. So we need an ace, 9, or spade on the river, baby. And this is when he block bets the turn. He bets $450 into around like $1,300.
Wait, what's the turn?
The 8 of spades. So it's King of Clubs, Jack of Diamonds, 6 of Spades, 8 of Spades. And he block bets $450 into a pot of like $1,300 or something. And that's pretty small.
You can't let that fly.
Great minds think alike. I just bomb it on the raise. I'm like, this guy's block betting. There's no way he's got it, bro. No way. So I make it like 2,500 to go, which is like I could have made it bigger, but like So I make it like 2,500 to go, which is like 2x the size of the pot, almost. Not quite 2x, but like it's pretty big. And he makes the call, so I'm concerned now. I'm concerned. We're hoping for a spade, an ace, or a 9. Like, please. And the river is the 7 of hearts, and it hurts my soul. And there's like 6,500 in the pot, or something like that. And he checks it over to me. And I'm like, I'm thinking it over. I'm like, do I bluff this? What kind of sizing do I want to use? I'm like $3,700 deep. I got this guy who's going to pay me $20 if I go all in. Like, And, I mean, look. He can't really have the nuts. He can't really have 10-9. It was a gutter on the flop. He would have had to call the turn with essentially an open ender, but it's only to the nuts on one side. And if the river checks through, you like always lose with your 10 high. So it's like he basically never has the nuts here. And I have the 10 of spades, which blocks 10-9 of spades, which he could reasonably
How can he have it? How can he have it?
How can he have the nuts? So I like think about it for a little while, and I'm like, I'm all in. And I like push in the chips. And the dude like gets up, he's like, oh man, oh my gosh. Are you serious? Are you serious? It was like, and the dealer is like sort of looking at me like, bro, you just bet like 40 G's, bro. You just bet like a 2021 Nissan Maxima with base level trim, bro. What's going on, bro? And I'm like, I'm obviously like expecting a snap fold because he can't have the nuts. There's no way he can have the nuts, bro. And so he's like thinking about it, and then 5 minutes pass, and 10 minutes pass, and I'm like over here like really starting to get concerned, right? And we actually exchanged some words at the table, but I'm not going to get into that. But
what were the words? What happened?
Should I get into that? All right.
I think you should get into that.
He's like looking at me trying to get a read, right? And he's like, I can't tell if you're actually nervous or you're just faking it. Like, obviously I'm nervous. And I'm like, bro, how could I not be nervous, bro? I just bet like 40 G's. Like, this is like a third of my bankroll. Like, I could have the stone cold nuts, or I could have like completely nothing. And like,
that's a pretty good response.
I would be like, I would be shaking, bro. So like, I don't know what kind of read you're trying to get, but like, that's like basically what I said.
I think it's better to just admit that you're nervous.
Yeah, like, I don't know what kind of read you're trying to get, bro. I'm like, I'd be shaking if I had the nuts, bro. If I had the nuts. Yeah, so, 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, and I'm, like, over here with, like, queen high, praying this guy doesn't just take a third of my bankroll. And then, like, everyone's, like, looking at him, because, like, no one's calling the clock on him, because they're all like, bro, it's like, take your time, bro. It's like a 40K decision. We get it, okay? It's like an insane hand, bro.
Times pot.
6.5 times pot, I think. It was like, yeah, it was more than 6x pot. Or like jam 6x pot, like 1,000 bigs in the middle, praying to the Lord that he doesn't take a third of my bankroll. So eventually, like 15 minutes pass, no one has called the clock on him, and he calls the clock on himself. And he's like, man, I just need something to push me along to make this decision, so I'm going to call the clock on myself. And the floor person comes over, and he starts counting down from a minute. And this is, like, really stressful for me, because I know, like, this is about, like, bro, I jumped out of planes. I've been through war. Like, this was, like, next level, bro. I'm like, I'm going to know if I win or lose 40K. Well, I'm, like, risking it to win, like, however much was in the pot. It was, like, 6K in the pot. I'm either going to lose 40K or I'm going to win 6K. And I'm about to know in the next, like, minute. And then he gets to 10 seconds. The floor person gets 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The hand is dead. And, like, the dealer, like, takes his cards, rakes them in the muck, pushes me the pot. I'm, like, in shambles over here. I'm like, ah. And at this point, like, the must-move game... The must-move game had, like, broken. They're like, dude, there's, like, a 40K pot in the main game. Like, let's check this out. Like, who cares about, like, our game? And like, so they were, like, starting to disperse. And, like, one of the last guys to leave the rail was like, bro, he definitely had it. Because there's no way he doesn't show if he made that bluff. And that's when I flipped over the queen 10 of spades. And like, everyone was like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, dude, that was, like, one of the coolest experiences I've had in poker. Because I was, like, very new to this, you know, I was only playing professionally for less than a year, and having this cool experience of, like, you know, owning the reg or whatever. But I mean, like, he kind of owned me because, like, he actually thought about it with a non-nutted hand. He's like, he literally said, he's like, I know you could just, like, be doing this with air. And I'm pretty sure, dude, if my memory serves, I think he actually called out my exact hand during his tank. He's like, what is this, queen 10 of spades? What did he have?
It seemed like he had, like, king 10 or something.
He had king 7 of spades, he told me afterwards. So he flopped top pair, backdoor flush draw, turned the flush draw, and then rivered 2 pair.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a weird hand, but
Probably
the
so
six
mad
of
he
buckets.
decided to check raise.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, right. Yeah, and obviously like at this point in my career, I'm super paranoid about everything, so I'm like autistically simming hands against fish, and I went home and like simmed this hand like it had to be like a very simple sim in Pio.
It
because,
doesn't.
like,
It doesn't sound that insane, to be honest. Like it doesn't. Like if you're gonna jam all in a hand, it's not that crazy. Like
Yeah,
the
Pio liked
the
it.
machine does do things like this, by the way.
dude,
But it doesn't.
Pio liked it. Pio liked the jam. Pio liked the 6x jam.
Pio liked
bro.
it.
I was
Pio
so hyped.
says
dude.
it's jam.
Vindicated
Oh.
once more, bro. And the craziest part of the story, so I see the guy who gave me the free roll. He had left at this point. I see him at the win the next day. I'm like, bro, I know you left, but I got all in with him. Can I have $20, please? And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, here's $20. I'm like, thank you, bro.
He
I
needed to
appreciate
give
that.
the $20. Like that was like if he had to give the $20. That was definitely worth $20. Like that's never happened ever. It like
Real, dude.
I've never seen pretty much ever. I don't think this happens. Like I haven't seen it happen at all. I've seen some crazy shit, but I've never seen that. To be fair.